here we are, the start of the good Chaldea boys, and also because I consider him a Lost Belt 5 servant. To me, this says Dioscuri is gonna come out like soon, like by the 15th. So I'm excited for them to come out. But let's talk about Odysseus first. Odysseus is a quick arts hybrid servant. He will work well with Castoria, but if you don't manage to pull Castoria, you can use Scotty and Friends Castoria. So he's versatile like that. He is a good servant for you to pull for like arts looping, for specifically for Castoria. Like you're going up against a whole bunch of casters, so like the money things, and you can easily just, not as easily as Lolly Vinci, but fairly easily clear it with no problems. Alright, so we're starting off with base stats, and the star gen is lower than night classes at 9%, but you have ways to buff up the quick cards, so it doesn't, I don't view this as a weakness that much. Also, if you want to gen stars, just bring a star genner. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's like, if you need to gen stars, bring someone that can gen stars like Jack. MP charge per attack 0.58. That's a little low on the base side, but he has 4 hits on the quick and arts cards and a 5-hit extra attack. So regardless of this being weaker, he still has good stats. He still has good base hits. So first skill is, like I said, quick and arts hybrid. This also adds a taunt to yourself, so 20% and a 3-turn taunt. Like, you don't see 3-turn taunts often. Like, the one off the top of my head is St. George. That's like the only servant I know off the top of my head that has a taunt that lasts that long. So if you go up against casters, I wouldn't do this against assassins. Just saying, if you put this up against casters, like, this man isn't gonna die. The rest of your team is fine. Second skill, we have his battery. It is 30%, which is it works better when we have pen skills, but it's fine right now. This is fine. It's MP charge, MP battery, star weight 1000%. And so because he's a rider, like, all the stars are his. Like, there's no question that he's gonna get literally all the stars most of the time. Without this buff, with this buff, none of them are going anywhere else. Yeah, immunity to charm, which is nice depending on the boss fight, but a couple of those boss fights are also assassins, so good luck with that. And we have his third skill, which is a self-invincibility. Increases buff removal resistance up to 100%, and increases defense for 3 turns, 30%. This is on 5 turn, 5 turn, 6 turn. So Castoria and Tama, I think, like, people are gonna run double Castoria, but that's pretty much only for farming. If you're trying to actually do boss fights, like, having a Tama somewhere is gonna be a lot more viable. Just in general, like, just double Castoria is only works if you're spamming, like, arts, like, you're literally spamming arts cards, in which case you might as well use a Tama, because you can double stack solemn defense, but like, Tama on the field, you're always going to be spamming her MP. 2 Castorias on the field, you might not want to be double popping them on the same turn. That's what I mean. All right. come to his passives: debuff resistance, quick performance because he's a rider, and then also this protection of the messenger god. This is talking about Hermes, in case you didn't know Greek mythology. And it's granting him protection from Circe's pig stuff, because if you didn't know in mythology, Circe held an island, welcomed travelers, but she turned them into pigs, mostly because they were male sailors. This is all, and it's also the person Medea learned from. Like, in case the lore for the game wasn't obvious enough. This also gives him an arts performance. So this is actually 30. This is pretty much 30, or this is pretty much 30. This is 30. Whatever the buff is fully active. So good. Yeah, he's actually one of those characters that you're gonna want these two up. Like, both of these have a purpose. This more, honestly, because battery. And now we come to his NP. Removes all defensive buffs. That's all of this. All of it gets removed. Defense up. Hard resistance, dodge, invincibility, solemn defense, traits, and its skill. All of them are gone. In his kit, he has MP damage on overcharge, and this is high starting overcharge. Like, holy shit. Yeah, and then the damage will scale up. And then we come to his CE, and it's another 10% to arts and quick. So, should you summon for Odysseus? If you have Scotty and you plan to get Castoria, then, or if you have Scotty and you plan on getting Castoria, yes. If you have Scotty and you and you won't be upset if you get him, if you don't get Castoria, because you can use a friend Castoria. I still think it's, again, if you don't have a Scotty, he's a bit harder to sell, especially right now, because his only support is Tama, and he won't be looping that well right now. Like, he's good, but he's not as good as Lolly Vinci, who can loop without Castoria. I think he's a strong pickup. He is on the standard banner, so you might get spooked by him at some point eventually. So I wouldn't fully invest with this. Like, between him and Dioscuri, because they're both arts quick, I think Dioscuri is built better. So yeah, I'd rather get spooked by him and by Odysseus and go for Dioscuri. All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace.